Happy Fragrant Friday, fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new Wichita, Kansas got it, review. How are you doing? Happy Fragrant Friday to you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And let me just start off by saying, if you're watching this and it's not a Friday, always remember here at TCG, it's always a Friday. And even though we're one day late, it's always St. Patty's Day on this channel. So it is double the fun, my friends. Speaking of fun, this week I am taking a look at this little jovial guy. And this is Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Pour Homme. Now this was interesting for a few reasons. One is that I got this for Christmas as one of my gifts from my mom and dad. And this week is their wedding anniversary. So please give them a round of applause. And this episode goes out to them. So they gave me this here, and I'll show you. I got this wonderful gift set, and the aftershave that came with it went to subscriber Brian, and if he has used any of it, he can let us know what he thinks of this one. But I've really enjoyed this last week. I knew I would because I've smelled it before, but I actually never owned a bottle. So I am a proud owner of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Pour Homme. The second thing I wanted to mention before I dive in on the review is if my voice sounds a little raspy, it's because indeed it is. Do not feel bad for me, though. It is not a cold. It was just screaming and yelling at a concert last night for St. Patty's Day. So I went out, and you know how you just talk to your my cousin and her husband came into town, and we had just a wonderful time. It was a blast, but you know how it gets once the music starts and you're just kind of shouting at people and kind of going, yeah, okay, I got you. That's how that was. So if my voice sounds raspy, and indeed it is because it is. So the third thing I want to say is when it comes to supporting my channel and checking out the channel, etc., you know what to do. So like, comment, and subscribe. Always leave a comment, and that helps out a lot. And when it comes to this one, if you don't have much to say, always leave your scent of the day. I really enjoy that a lot, and it's a lot of fun for me. I keep Fragrantica open, and I just check out all of your succulent fragrances. Indeed, I really enjoy hearing more about your collections that are just enormous for many of you, and I certainly envy that. All right, so let's dive in, shall we? When it comes to this one, I'll start off with the nomenclature. I really don't have too much to say, though, when it comes to Dolce & Gabbana, except for the one obvious thing. If you watch my channel, I used to do episodes in Spanish as well, and so I always say Dolce y Gabbana, and so I say it in Spanish, and for some reason it flies under the radar to say Dolce and Gabbana or Gabbana. So forgive me now if I say, you can have a drinking game. How's that? Every time I say Dolce y Gabbana. Dolce y Gabbana just sounds better to me, doesn't it? But I will try my best to say Dolce and Gabbana or Gabbana, depending on that pronunciation there. But this is, of course, Light Blue Pour Homme. Now, when it comes to the bottle, I was thinking the cap used to be a little bit darker. You guys can let me know if that's the case. For some reason, maybe I'm thinking of the women's bottle, but I thought the cap was a little darker. But it is, after all, light blue. So, it just makes sense that it is light blue. The batch code is listed here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, though. It's a little bit difficult to see, but it is down here. No, actually, it actually looks, nope, that's not difficult at all. So that is 1062RM, and that means that it is from March 3rd, 2021. So this is just over 1 year old, and it said on the site that their batch codes repeat every 10 years. So this is quite fresh juice, as they say. This is a 2007 release. It's a citrus aromatic. I did not find the parfumé, so let me know if you know who did it. I do know that this one did win the 2008 Fragrance of the Year, so that has implications, doesn't it, when it comes to me giving a rating. So this one has had a good run, right? If it's a 2007 release, it's been over 15 years now it's been out. Incredible to say. So it's coming up on a soon-to-be a classic. So bottle and design, I'll just say the atomizer is fantastic, but I'll give you one anyway. 1, 2, and 3. Boom. And that way the whole room can smell like light blue. And this is a 75 milliliter 2.5 ounce. It's a little smaller. I actually like 75 milliliter. If I had to give my favorite size, I would say 75 milliliter 2.5 ounce is probably my favorite because I feel like I can burn through this juice a little easier. That said, when they're 4.2 and 6.8 ounces, they always sweeten the deal, don't they? For like 10, 15 bucks more, you can get double the juice. Who's not going to do that? Especially if you're on a budget. That said, though, I really do like this particular size. Everything about this is nice. I like the bottle, like the color of the cap, and you can see here the label is not embossed on the bottle. But it does show up quite well, but also doesn't, it doesn't look cheesy or cringeworthy. How's that? This kind of goes right in the middle between minimalism versus something that's gaudy. It's just right in the middle, isn't it? It's nice. So that's the bottle, that's the house. That's the Dolce and Gabbana trip up that might happen for me. And this, of course, is light blue. I've already talked about the year. Let me get into some of the notes. So here's the thing that I want to say straight off the bat. I feel like I've cracked the code on this one when it comes to what they had in mind. So I'll give the notes first and then I'll tell you. All right. So here's what I get. I get grapefruit, bergamot, rosemary, and just a little bit of oak moss. You can go to Ferrantic and check out all of them. But here's what I really think is going on here. I feel like these guys in the early 2000s were sitting in a boardroom going, we've got Dolce and Gabbana, pour homme, that's our cash cow, a fantastic fragrance. And it's high time for us, isn't it? It's high time for us to come out with something new. And how are we going to do that? That's a crowd pleaser, though, right? So, again, do I feel like the parfumé spent, 3 or 4 sleepless nights frantically writing in a notepad on trying to create the perfect, nuanced smell of his stroll through Liechtenstein? I don't think so. What I do think, though, is I feel like somebody in the boardroom was wearing Escape by Calvin Klein. And if you guys have had that one, you know exactly the smell I'm referring to. It's this grapefruit melon heart of the 90s. I mean, it is, in fact, you could almost even argue it's one of the most 90s fragrances is Escape by Calvin Klein. I liked it. I don't think it's aged well. I'm happy that I had one bottle. It was a one and done. I really enjoyed it though, but I don't know that it needs kind of a modern take, right? It probably should be left in the 90s. I do like it. So it's a 90s freshie, right? So one of the complaints of the 90s, right, is these kind of deodorant, detergent, cleaning product smells that people either like or absolutely detest and abhor. And of course, I like them. So that is Calvin Klein Escape. Now, I want to read this, and you're thinking grapefruit, juniper, bergamot, rosemary. So far, all of those notes that was listed are in Escape. But I feel like what they did was they took Escape from 1993 and Acqua di Gio from 1996 in the early 2000s, and they said, you know what? Escape is too dated. This is really smelling 90s. Everyone and their dog owns Acqua di Gio. You've had a bottle, and if you haven't, you're a liar. Everyone has had at least one bottle of Acqua di Gio, or at least they should. How's that? So I feel like their goal here was to create a combination, because they're not the same class. This is a citrus aromatic, aromatic aquatic, or aquatic or aromatic is Acqua di Gio, and then Escape is an aromatic green. So they're not in the same class. I'm not saying that they are, but I feel like they wanted to create something that was half Escape, half Acqua di Gio, so that it would be updated. So again, we were talking about grapefruit, bergamot, rosemary, juniper, incense, oak moss. All of these fragrance notes are really knocking at the door as far as combining Acqua di Gio with Escape. And I feel like that is light blue, my friends. So have a good week. No, I'm kidding. So I feel like that is cracking the code for their inspiration for this. That's just me, of course, babbling on and on my take. You might, if so, originality factor cannot be very high. It just cannot. Again, if we're taking our stroll through Liechtenstein, the parfumé probably wasn't, again, having a sleepless night, worrying about which note to add so that it smells just like his stroll through that country. I feel like that's going to happen. That said, if they're looking for a compliment getter, a crowd pleaser, does this succeed? Hands down. Not even close. So again, I don't see it as a limitation that it's not incredibly unique or it wasn't inspired by, an independent parfumé who started his or her own business. I don't mind that it was probably manufactured to create high sales. I don't mind that at all. So I really like it, but keep in mind that that's the avenue you need to pursue though when it comes to this fragrance. Are you the type that wants something that's niche, parfumé, made it as an artistic creation, inspiration, or is this something that is more like, all right, guys, we need to get sales up and we need to get back to where we were when we put out Dolce and Gabbana Pour Homme in '94. It's quite likely that this is the case. I'm okay with that because I am smelling great. So let's take a look at the longevity, sillage, and projection. Really no bad news here. I would just say slightly above moderate. So, which actually for a citrus aromatic is quite good, by the way, and especially since it's an EDT. So I did get a full 8 hours. So you will get a full 8-hour shift out of this fragrance. I got 6 to 8, even closer to 8. But don't forget, that's with me being outside a fair amount. It actually did fairly well. I would have liked it to have done better, but I'm not going to dock it. If I can get 6 to 8, closer to 8, I'm good. You will get a work shift. I was happy with the longevity. When it comes to projection, I had people notice it. So you're looking at an arm's length for about 4 to 5 hours, which is pretty good. And then from 5 on to 8, it will get closer and closer to the skin. But I found that it performed quite well indeed. And then the sillage was also good. So if you're coming in and out of rooms, you will get noticed. It will leave a scent trail, and people will compliment you. So what's the problem with that, right? There is no problem with that. It is a freshie. It's a 2007 take on a 90s freshie. And as I said, they succeeded. This has a modern feel to it. This doesn't smell to me like something that needs to be stopped, right, in production. I don't feel that way at all. I feel like it smells great. It's just like l'Odyssée, Acqua di Gio. If you like the citrus, and I just don't see how these things smell like cleaning products. I just don't. I think they smell very, very nice, and I like smelling like this. So take that. Okay, so when it comes to age, I'm going to go. Well, let me do gender first. When it comes to gender, this one is squarely in the masculine. So this is going to be about, I will put this at about a 90-10. I think about 90% of the people who own this will be men. And again, remember my stipulation that they wanted it. It wasn't a gift. They went out and bought it. It's their signature scent. I think you're going to see 90% men and 10% women on this one. That said, the light blue for women is outstanding. I'm a huge fan of that one as well. I really, really like that fragrance. It's it smells nice and sexy. It's a very nice fragrance, very well done on that end. But on this one, I don't see this as unisex at all. I see this as a 90-10, quite masculine. But again, as a modern take on the 90s freshies. So we're not breaking out gold chains and showing off hairy chests and being a lumberjack by day and showing off our dance moves at the club at night. That's not really this fragrance. This is more for work, for happy hour, daytime, and then to some extent night. Really though, when I see this, when I think of event, I don't think of a specific event. I think of the kind of person who wears, who just wants to reach for a fragrance that smells good. That's why some people don't like these, and that's why I do. So there you have it. When it comes to age, though, I'm gonna say 25 and up. I don't really know. So when I think of the intern years, the post college, right, when you get your first paid internship and you're out looking for jobs and you're answering questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why are you applying and for our position? Things like that. I do see this as a 25 and up. I don't know why though. I can't really. I mean, college is probably fine. There's nothing to say that it wouldn't, because it is kind of youthful, right? But I don't know why. I just feel like because of the ode to the 90s, unless it's retro, I feel like most of the people owning this will be in their 30s, but I'm going to go 25 and up. Certainly appropriate for... I guess I just feel like the high school and the college dudes are going to be rocking more like the Invictus stuff, right? They're going to be out with clubs, more of a flat out, sexy, calling attention. I am the alpha male of this club kind of fragrance. This one's not that. It's just the proverbial nice. And so I'm going to go 25 and up. So then, and I've already really talked about event. As far as season, of course, this is going to be a spring, summer. But I think more importantly, this is, for me, something that would be a great choice as a 365-day-a-year fragrance. I think this is, fragrances like this one, and fragrances, similar to Acqua di Gio and L'Odyssée by Issey Miyake, these kinds of fragrances work wonderfully for Father's Day gifts, because they end up for guys who just want to put something on and smell great, and right, it's not going to be off-putting, and it's, does it smell like a Belgian pancake? No, it doesn't, but that's okay. It just smells incredibly nice, and that's what they want to get out of it. All right, so that is this one. So here's the conundrum that we have. When it comes to rating, the conundrum we have is this: do we put fragrances that were clearly released to generate sales and be a crowd pleaser on the same level playing ground as ones that were inspired and created in an artistic, nuanced set? And so I feel like my answer would be essentially yes. I don't necessarily feel like this one, is boring or bad just because it's not the most revolutionary thing in the world. So as far as actual scent itself, I feel like it's dangerously close to a 5 out of 5 sprays. For all 87 of you who have gotten here, I mean, I was really sweating bullets this week, going between 4 and a 5. I don't give half sprays. You know that. You guys have demanded them, all right, on Twitter and Snapchat and InstaTweet and all that. So, you guys have demanded it. I don't do half sprays. So this one probably is about as 4.5 as you can get. So I had to decide. And I think what I'm going to say is, don't forget I gave the extra spray, the TCG spray, coveted one, 6 out of 5 for Acqua di Gio, because that one is amazing. I am incredibly tempted, just on smell alone, right? I feel like this is a 5 out of 5. I love this fragrance. I love wearing it. It's been a great week. I couldn't wait to open up the box and wear the fragrance. I really enjoy it. I like Dolce and Gabbana pour homme as well, and so no disappointment here. I really enjoy this one. That said, I do feel like there were 2 points here that I do feel like if we are going to say that this is a blend of Escape mixed with Acqua di Gio, which I do think it is, and those were from 93 and 96, and then 11 years after that, 2007, they come out with this. I do feel like, it's going to be hard for me to give a 5 out of 5 for that. 5 out of 5 is, it's a big deal here. On top of it, although I did get I got great, sillage and projection longevity. If I really, really had to be persnickety, I would say there was one day where I was walking outside quite a bit, and I did have to reapply. So why don't we go with this? It probably would be a 4.5. It's probably the microcosm of a 4.5, but we don't give those. I am going to take into consideration the fact that fragrances like this are divisive in the community. It is not. It does harken back to the days of the 90s freshies, although I do think it's successful as a modern take. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5 sprays, dangerously, ever so dangerously close to 5 out of 5. 4 out of 5 sprays for Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. And if that seems harsh, and I thought you liked it, dude, I absolutely love this fragrance. Remember, really, once you get from 4 up, it's going to be a keeper for me anyway. This one was definitely going to be in my collection, and I have really enjoyed every single spray this week of wearing this, and I look to many happy days in the future with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. So we're going to go 1 on each wrist, 1 on each side of the neck, 4 out of 5 sprays for this 2007 Citrus Aromatic. Boom. 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 And boom. There you have it. Another review by the boards. I really appreciate all of your support. Thank you very much for everything. Don't forget to let me know, if you don't have much to say about this particular fragrance, what do you think? Let me know what your take is. Are you more of the niche, inspired, artistic type fragrances? And do you kind of look down on something like this? Or do you just not care and all you want is compliments, right? Or are you open to both, like I am? Let me know. And of course, if nothing else, leave your scent of the day. Take care, have a great week, and always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Let me just say real quick, too, I'll be talking about this later, but let me talk about these type of fragrances are really divisive in the fragrance community. A lot of people are going to roll their eyes when they see fragrances like this one. And of course, my favorite, emotional favorite at least, which is Acqua di Gio. You secretly like it, and that's fine. But it rules. And people will scoff at that, right? Because they're looking at something that has been inspired by an artist, a parfumé who had a vision, who had a dream, a quest to create this incredible, nuanced, sophisticated, unique fragrance. I get that. Another prong, though, to this is that some companies are in the business of, you guessed it, making money. And so they will have fragrances that simply are compliment getters, crowd pleasers, and will, again, get a lot of compliments and smell just very, very nice. So a lot of people don't like those. They scoff at them. I am not one of them. I don't mind either one. In other words, if it's super, super unique, that's intriguing to me. If it's not unique but smells fantastic, that's all basically equal on equal ground here when it comes to me giving a rating. So be careful with that. If you're looking at this episode because you like light blue or you're thinking about getting it, if you watch a lot of reviewers, they'll probably slam something like this as just yet another crowd pleaser. For me, it's not that simple. I don't see a crowd pleaser as a bad word. All right, so that's the main thing that I want to get across in this episode. So that's the notes, and that's kind of the take that you want to look at this and really think about your own collection and what kind of person you are. In for grant taking, you'll see this. You'll see people having all these arguments all the time about, saying, well, crowd pleaser. It's just another crowd pleaser. Who cares? And what do you care about compliments? Look, some people just want to smell good and get compliments. This is a perfect gift for the dads out there for Father's Day. This is a perfect gift for that. Okay, this is a perfect gift. I have a lot of subscribers who only have 1 to, let's say, 5 fragrances in their collection, and this would be another one that would be fantastic for 365 days a year. A lot of my subscribers just don't care if it's rainy out, hint hint, or if it's cold, hot, what climate, what event, et cetera, et cetera. They just want to smell good. And so you will do that with this fragrance, absolutely.